Dear Ezra, before I start, I want you to know that Uncle Peter, Rachel Grant, Stephen Hirsch, Dove Gertzlin, Josh Tenzer, Andrea Wolf, Lauren Stark, David Katz, Sheldon Hanau, Josh Kozowski, and Daniel Rosen traveled here and hiked from rim to rim in order to celebrate your life. Noam Drazen and Naomi Gable wanted to be here, but an injury forced them to drop out. I won't forget the amount of time and effort that he sacrificed in order to make it to this point. I also wanted you to know that OneFamily has helped us go on despite your absence. We are happy to be raising money for that wonderful organization. Ezra, Boat Beach was a special place. It's where our family's greatest adventure began. And it's fitting that we stand here to discuss the great things you did in your life. I wanted to thank you for all of those wonderful memories. Ezra, thank you for the 18 years we had together. We did so many amazing things, and you lived your life with an inspiring amount of energy and fun and excitement, while always being able to pause to have compassion for others. When you loved to do something, you did it with so much energy and happiness that it was contagious, making everyone else happier and more excited. Your energy was never as apparent as when we spent a week here in the Grand Canyon. It started when you volunteered to hike down the Bright Angel Trail with your little brothers. You could have taken the mules down, but I remember so vividly you sitting in the living room when we began to discuss this, and without any hesitation you jumped in and stated, "I'll hike down." I remember it so vividly because it started our whole trip off in the right direction. We needed one volunteer to hike, and I looked into your eyes when you volunteered, and I can see how excited you were, and there was not a second thought of the difficulty or the challenge, and true to your personality, you were all in. Excited, happy, no caring as to who was going with the mules, no caring about who got the best deal. You just announced that you were walking, and you were happy to do it. Elon and Avi, who were 6 and 8 at the time, looked up to you, and suddenly they were proud to be walking with their big brother. Thank you, Ezra, for one of the most memorable parts of our Grand Canyon trip. On our last night camping in the canyon, after we stopped to pitch our tents and have dinner, I asked if anyone wanted to explore one of the side canyons. You were the only one to say yes. Do you remember how quiet and secluded it was? Do you remember the strange rock formations and how narrow that little canyon was? There was water in pools and a small stream, and our route was blocked by water. And we went back and forth, climbing along the canyon walls, meandering our way through this maze that was more interesting and more amazing than I can describe. So unique and so unlike any place or rock formation we had ever seen. And we kept finding different routes and different ways up and climbing along the walls of the canyon until we both agreed that the next step was too high and too dangerous, and we had to turn back. Thank you for having the energy to explore with me. We did a lot of exploring together. When we skied in the trees, we would get lost together with no fear and no worry. If the trees got too thick or we came upon cliffs, we would just take off our skis, we'd find another path. Most people we skied with didn't have the patience to explore and find weird nooks and crannies. Any place we could squeeze our skis on snow was good for us. Ezra, you were just like me, enjoying finding places and ski resorts where nobody else had gone. You enjoyed taking your brothers to those places just like I took you. Even when they were slow and not as accomplished, you picked up their skis, you brushed powder off their backs, and you waited for them because you remembered how Molly and I did the same for you. You were always so patient on the mountains, especially with your friends. Thank you, Ezra, for always wanting me to watch you when we skied. Thank you for always asking me to video you. Thank you for always wanting to be right behind me when you were younger. No matter how fast I would go, you would do anything to keep up, but often it meant a massive tumble, like the one on Trainers in Aspen, when you developed a massive headache because you were so stressed that you couldn't keep up with me and my ski partners on the hardest terrain. A few years later, my last vivid image of you skiing in Aspen was you plowing through the trees and the moguls and the powder. on the left side of Snyder's Ridge at a speed when I realized that you were now bombing down the runs faster than I could ski, and I was proud that you were now better than me. It seems like yesterday that you were on the bunny hill at Mount Snow, and I can clearly picture you making your first turns by twisting your arm sideways to help your body move in the direction that would help you turn.